Hello, my beautiful souls. We are live and I'm coming to get you. Instagram, just give us 2 minutes and we'll be live on Instagram. How are you, ladies?
Good. I mean, very good, but sort of in one of those sort of like, and I still have to adult today, do I? Yeah.
We came on and everybody's just like, ha, 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 ha. So the question was, how are you, Victoria? And I was like, should we just go live? Because there's no point in just because I'm sure I'm going to be telling all of you anyway. So I have a lot going on, a lot. I'm in the middle of signing a massive contract, just spellbinding, and the twos and fro's of it are just, 1 minute you think you've done it, and then they go, can we have this, and can we have that, and can we have this, and can we have that, and then we've got changing dates and this and that. So that's where I'm at. But yesterday I had the absolute pleasure of attending Rochelle's first in-person event, which
Oh, cool.
I don't think she realized how impactful it was going to be.
That's
That was
amazing.
amazing. So Rochelle helps you make passive income through property, and so she had people turn up. The venue was amazing. It was near King's Cross, but then she had people speaking on different topics. So somebody was talking about insurance. Somebody was talking about it was very financial based. And normally I'd be like, oh, but it was so eye opening, and it was very good. And there were times where you could see people going, "Oh my god," writing stuff down. It was some of those moments. So it was really good. But yeah, I'm busy. I have a lot of schedules. Like I'm looking at my calendar every day going, do I need to move that? Do I need to move that? Do I need to move that? And up until about 30 minutes ago, I was gonna speak to Naomi about moving our podcast tomorrow further down, but now it's as if it's staying back where it is. It's a whole thing. So I'm doing that and not eating properly. So I've not had any breakfast today, which I've been really trying to be so good about. Like I try and have breakfast, and so I've just said to ChatGPT, I haven't eaten yet.
What did it suggest?
Tell me to calm down. It's saying, do not let your nervous system get in the way.
Nice.
Yes. But yeah, so but it is busy, and I'm on the phone a lot. So you guys are like my, I don't know, sixth, seventh call of the morning, and it's just turned 12 o'clock. How are
Wow.
you, Naomi?
Yeah. I'm not going to say the word good because I just get so sick and tired of women saying I'm good, I'm fine. I'm amazing. And then the next minute I'm literally like, oh, here we go. The roller coaster again. We're up, we're down. Scream if you want to go faster.
Can I just scream because I'm just at that point now?
I don't know what we're meant to say if we want to slow down, but I had this conversation yesterday about the messy middle that we all talk about. And I think the truth is there's no middle. It's just messy start, middle and end.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And I know a lot of people slow down at this time of year, and I have done in the past. I'm not doing that whole like let's smash the end of the year, but I am like in serious like structural change, processes change, all of the above. But it's
Same
it's
here.
all messy. It's all, it's not one thing, it's not another thing. It's just like it's everything.
Yeah.
But the mess, there's still wonderfulness about the mess. And I think for me, that's the biggest difference is this time last year. So this year I've been so disciplined on my nervous system, my regulation, my resilience, all that sort of stuff. This time last year I was a mess. And the first day of my holiday, I went down with flu and was out for like 8 days.
Mm.
Whereas this year, I'm like, going, this is still so much fun. Whereas last year, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to crack. Just carry on going, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in the other. And I do think there is that difference there. The mess has not changed, but there's that actually, let's go for it.
We're embracing the mess.
Yeah. How are you, Helen? Because we've not seen you for a while. What have you been doing? Why did you?
No, I've just been. It's mainly been work delivery and just calls that have just been in the diary for months.
Yeah.
And it's just been this time slot. So, also I saw your vote about flexible. I was like, yeah, because, isn't that just life at the moment?
Yeah.
It's, there's a lot going on. I mean, I personally have been there's so much energy clearing that's also happening for me right now as well. There is a lot coming up and a whole host of really different things. I won this morning where I was just like, I need to go and find 10 minutes to go and clear that one, which was, if I don't follow the rules that I've been given, I'm going to die. And I was like, okay, so that's what's keeping me small and limited and all of that. That's definitely one that needs to get.
That's huge, right?
Yeah. But that's all of these things are just tapping me on the shoulder at the same time going, hello. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
Didn't we talk about this last week, Victoria, about Year of the Snake and letting go? And we talked about this last week. And yeah, exactly the same, Helen. I think there's so many of us right now that are not only in this like huge phase of like things going on in our businesses, but we're also facing a lot of stuff, like old layers, old stories, things that we need to shed, all of that.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. But you know what? To Helen's point about the gratitude side of things, Rochelle and I, Rochelle's business has started to tweak and get better by this time last year. I didn't know if I'd have a business. So to be sat here and be, restructuring, as Naomi says, looking at processes, onboarding new people into the business, is so wild and different. And it's not that it's not good. I'm just busy. Like if somebody had said to me, what do you want to do this morning? I would have done my meditations as I have done. I haven't done my prayers yet, which is very unusual. I normally do my prayers. I normally do my meditation and my prayers. I did some healing because I've got some serious cases on. And then I would have loved to have gone to the gym. I've not been to the gym yet. So, and then after this, I've got another meeting at 2:00. So I'm like, so do I go to the meeting afterwards? And then I've got a meeting at 5. And I'm just like, so am I going to go? And it's not a problem going to the, I don't have kids, so I can go whenever I want. But it's just like, there's so much to do.
It's that constant, I've never, ever been able to juggle more than one ball at once physically. But it is that constant sort of, okay, I've got 67 balls in the air now.
And which one do you allow to drop as well? That's the thing, isn't it? You something I said to all my clients on Monday morning when I kind of did my little live was like, what one thing can you take off your plate this week? And I was meant to travel to Hertfordshire on Monday, see the fabulous Nova Coburn. I'm sure Victoria knows. Ellen knows.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I actually had a card reading with her on Monday. And whereas 2 years ago, I did it with her online, I was like, no, do you know what? I actually know the area really well. I've got friends up there. I used to live there. Do you know what? I'm going to make a day of it and I'm going to come up. And then I got into bed on Friday night and I just lay in bed and I was like, what do I actually need from myself next week? And I was like, do you know what? I don't need to be getting on another train 5 hours to do something that I could do online. It's why I didn't go to Rochelle's event yesterday. It's why I turned down other events that I was invited to this week, because I was like, I just don't need any more on my plate. And actually, I need to take some stuff off my plate. Not client delivery, because that's always my priority. My dad is obviously a big priority. But what am I doing that I'm doing out of obligation or because I said I would do it? And then it's not about letting people down. Nova was probably no more, bothered about me being there in person or doing it on Zoom.
Yeah. And it's also looking at the balls and going, I can drop that. But also I'm finding, do I really want to? And that's the other thing. I can, but do I really want to? The answer is sometimes no. Actually, I want to carry on juggling that. I'm okay in this chaos. And I think that's the one thing that I'm starting to feel as though I've never truly been. I've always been I can carry on going 1 foot, sort of that I will make it through. But actually being completely feeling this, I'm all right in this chaos. Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, I am okay, actually. I do need to eat properly, but I am okay.
I've not had breakfast yet at some point. I've got a 2:00 meeting and I'm just like, I'm going to get some lunch in at some point today. It might not be at lunchtime though.
Naomi's probably looking at us going, "You're such bad students." And so, Naomi, what would you say?
not bad students, but I guess this is where like what I do really comes into place, because one thing I obviously really recommend that my clients do is their health is never the thing that is the ball that gets dropped. Yeah. And it might just be a skip breakfast, it might just be a skip lunch, it might just be a skip this. But and that's why so many women, yes, other genders too, so many women end up sick over Christmas and New Year. Because they have overstretched themselves, depleted their energy, not nourished themselves, not looked after their health and well-being, and then they're in complete chaos and burnout. So I'll be honest with you, I rarely have breakfast before 10 a.m, not because I intermittent fast, because I'm so connected with my body and hunger and everything nowadays that I know my pattern, I know my rhythm, it works really well for me. But actually, I've had a super busy morning, calls, team onboarding, new clients renewing, all sorts of things. And so when I planned to have my breakfast didn't happen, I ended up having my breakfast at, 11:30, 11:15. That's late. That's late for me. But I've eaten really well, nourished, knowing that actually my lunch might end up being at 2:30. My dinner might end up being at 6 because I have group coaching calls tonight with my clients. That's one thing that never, ever, ever falls off my list. Right. And it will adjust, it will change, but I will never skip my meals. And whilst I won't get to the gym, I will probably end up doing 20 minutes of weights here. I'll get out for a walk. I'll do voice notes whilst I'm out walking. I'll do some emails. I'll just figure out how I can make it happen in a busy day.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go to the gym. I like to go to the gym about 3 or 4 o'clock, just in time for my 5 o'clock meeting. But I want to get out. I've not been to the gym for 2 days. I did walk around King's Cross yesterday, so I got some steps in. But I do want to sort of like get to the gym. And as for breakfast and stuff, we're probably just going to have to.
I have a table under my desk.
I've got a nice
under your desk.
Yeah. I just pull it out, put my chair to one side, pull it out. And walk if I'm having to watch something or any of those sort of things. Because the reality is, as I knew, I'm never going to do a gym membership.
Yeah.
See, I'm loving being back at the gym. I am adoring it. Oh my God. I'm like, when I'm there, I'm just in my element. I've actually gone up to walk, pulling 170 kg and stuff. Like I am loving being there. I'm swimming. I'm finding time to go for a swim at least once a week, and I'm doing weights and everything else and a bit of cardio. I am loving it. It's completely transformed my life, because a bit of context, I developed a back pain for no particular reason. When I say that, as in I didn't fall, I didn't bend down and hurt myself, but I've had it for about 6 years and it's been excruciating. And I've put on about 5 stone because my movement has been very reduced. But I'm a lot better. I can walk around, but I've had to really, really train myself to get to that level. So now I can work out in the gym for an hour and not feel any pain, which is amazing. And I love it. I just need to I'm that person. I'm like I'm an exercise junkie, believe it or not. I love to work out, like I can't wait to train again and climb Kilimanjaro again. Like that's my idea of fitness and stuff. So yeah, so I'm loving it.
Exercise for me has always been my time. So I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to have to interact with anybody. I don't want to have to speak to anybody, which is why I always long distance running for me was what I did before I had kids. And I loved, the half marathon distance was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But that was it. Headphones in. I am literally, if you're going to say hi to me, you're going to get ignored because this is me. And I'm finding it much harder now with kids to fit those in. But that's why treadmill under the desk.
I love it. That's amazing.
Between calls, I can get 10 minutes in, or if you do sort of like 3 or 4 10-minute things during the day, that's enough for me. And that for me allows me to sort of do it, because as you said, Naomi, otherwise you just, unless you set yourself up for success, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi, have you been swimming today?
No, actually, that is one thing that has, I'm going to say, given over the last few weeks. So usually I go in for my swim at least once a week, if not twice.
Any day, any temperature.
I'm just, all year round. I'm just trying to think and it's always, there's something that happens that then it just breaks the cycle. Mm-hmm. And it may have been that with Dad having had the stroke and everything else, a few things, but funnily enough, yesterday I looked at my forecast. Also, the Lido reopens at the end of this month. And what I will probably do is I will probably spend the rest of the winter either going to the Lido, or when we've got some decent weather days and the sea isn't, because the sea's been really rough this last few weeks with all the wind and everything. So I haven't been in this week. And do you know what? I desperately miss it. But again, it's priorities. So if it means getting in for a swim, but I don't manage to get out in nature for a walk, I'd rather do my walk.
Bye, Mr. Banana. Mr. Banana says I'm off to get the milk. Peace out.
Who's Mr. Banana?
Don't know, but hi, Mr. Banana.
I'm going to get the milk. Peace out. Could you pick me up 2 pints? Because that is one thing I do need to do today.
And hi, Rift Pierce. Hi, guys. Chris Matthews came on earlier and he went, yeah. So I don't know if we're boring him.
Sorry, Chris.
Hi, everybody watching. We see you. We appreciate you being on. And feel free to ask any questions. Keep them clean.
Or don't.
That's how it's going today.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today, apart from the randomness?
Just everything. Random stuff.
Mm-hmm. So
what's exciting everybody about 2026?
What's exciting? Oh God.
Yes. That's what we were going to talk about.
Is that what? Oh, there you go. See, we'll talk about. Can I just say this? That my excitement for 2026 is to make sure that I go into as few restaurants as possible. Can I just say that? So just randomly, I know. So I don't really go to a lot of restaurants. Yes, milk, but I'm a banana and I need some kind of mechanism to walk around and avoid monkeys. We're here for it. I went to a restaurant yesterday with some friends. You might know Shelley Shulman and Rochelle. And we went to a nice place in King's Cross, because it's normally quite hectic there. And we walk in and they say, listen, we can give you a table for an hour. We've got perfect. In my mind, I'm like, if you chuck me out, I'll just say no. So yeah, sure, I'll take the seat. So we sit down and we order the food, and it's a tapas. Now I get it. Tapas is where they just bring you food when it's ready. So I ordered prawns, I ordered patata bravas, and I ordered some bread. And they brought my prawns first. And then about 30 minutes later, I got the bread. Oh. And I'm looking at these prawns and I'm like, why? Like, and you could see the prawns wilting away because they were done, right? You don't need to cook prawns for long. And I'm just like, this is why I cook. This is why I love cooking at home, because no chef worth anything would let the prawns go out. Now I know if you're not into food, it's not a concern. To me it is. I'm like, what are you doing? So, and as I was sat there, and 40 pounds later, I was like, I don't want to come out to restaurants anymore. I'm done. Like, you're ruining my experience, like, to me. And they kept on forgetting meals, and they kept on forgetting people's foods. There was only 3 of us on the table. And I'm like, what's going on? It's not that difficult. It's 3 people on the table and everybody's ordered something. Just bring it. Yeah, it wasn't good. So anyway, so 2026, what am I looking forward to? That's what I'm looking forward to. Now, on a serious note, look, I am looking forward to having so much support in my business. That for me, I can't wait. Like, I feel I'm so excited. I'm so excited about getting support because I don't want to say struggle, but I've crawled to get to where I am. And it's not as far as a lot of people, but damn, I'm looking forward to just breathing and knowing that the business is in the right hands, and also having really decent conversations in the business that can propel it. You guys might appreciate this, but I always say to people that when you're an entrepreneur, we're an entrepreneur, you're not, there's nobody to look after the building when you're not there. There's nobody to look after IT. There's nobody to clean. There's nobody to cook. There's nobody to deliver mail. Like literally everything is you. You're the canteen. You're your operations, your strategy, you're the CIO, the CFO. You're everything. And yeah, I felt it. I felt it a lot. And I'm just having some incredible conversations with people, and Naomi, thanks to you and stuff, like, you know, the VA team that are coming on board, just having some really good people in the space that can help me, and and just look after me, just look after me and enable me to do what I do best. I'm looking forward to that for 2026. What about you, Naomi?
Very, very similar. I've been doing a lot of shedding this last couple of months, and I feel so excited for 2026. Actually, I feel excited for like right now, because it's not even like about starting the new year. I'm already in the change mode, the evolution right now, and it feels like that's kind of like going to be almost like a springboard. Oh my gosh, what was that? It feels like it's going to be a springboard for 2026. So I might have shared this last week, but my kind of couple of my words for 2026 are spacious, safety. Been doing a lot of nervous system regulation recently too, Helen, and just feeling like I want 2026 to be a very, very different blueprint to any of my previous years. So I'm super excited for that. Super excited.
Yeah, excited for you.
Structure, you know, all the boring, dull stuff, processes, automations, structure, team. But yeah, very excited for all of it.
What about you, Helen?
So I've recently found out that next year in spiritual circles is the year of the Phoenix. So in Chinese astrology, it's the year of the fire horse, but that's our logo. Our logo is a phoenix. So I'm just like, yes, no, this is our year. And I've got that sense as well. So for me, you know, at the moment, it's all about clearing all the stuff out that we're not taking in, and then just going for it. Next year is around scale. It's around growth. It's around actually just testing the structure we've put in place this year.
Good. And you're coming to Command Your Year, which is my in-person event. You're coming to that?
I am on the 29th. Yeah,
29th of January, which will be cool. Where we look at everything. We look at everything we do. It's not just the strategy, but we also look at the emotions and what's holding you back and everything else. I always talk about one thing that I realized. I've been to a few strategy days in my time, and everybody tells you what to do, and nobody asks you how you feel, or nobody looks at, you know. And I keep saying, you can give me the best plan in the world, if I am depressed or I'm stressed, or, you know, that plan's not going to work. Or like in our cases, Naomi and stuff, we've got parents that we've got elderly parents, and like quite. Your mom's still kicking ass. Helen,
she is seriously kicking backside.
Oh my God,
she's incredible.
You need to follow Helen's mom on LinkedIn. She does the best post on LinkedIn. Like she is just like, she's a ball cracker, like literally.
You need to
her tagline is the wise pragmatist, you know, and sort of, and she's brilliant. Pat Chapman Pincher. I can remember being horrified as a teenager because her pictures were on bus stop posters, because she was the woman behind the rollout of the internet into commercial and residential in the UK back in the 90s. And it was sort of like, I was like, oh my God, I'm at a bus stop in London, there's my mum's face. But actually sort of looking at that, she's that sort of level 5 cracker, and she's 78, she's still kicking down doors. It's incredible.
She's amazing. Like she posts every day. Sometimes she'll post twice. Mm-hmm. And she talks stuff on, she's not messing. So anyway, so my point is that, you know, with parents, when you've got things happening in life, like parents who are ill and you're having to look after, and you know, you never know what's going to happen from one moment to the next, that plan has to change. And strategy days don't cater for that. Strategy days tell you what you need to know about tactics. Yeah. You know, nobody's telling you about that. And that's what we're doing in Command Your Year. We're actually going in as somebody who's managed multi-billion pounds and stuff. It's like, I'm going in and I'm going, okay, let's look at it from an intuitive perspective. Let's have a look at your plan. Let's take into consideration everything that's going on in your life and create a realistic plan, rather than a plan that you're going to create and then feel upset with afterwards, or feel embarrassed, or feel guilt and shame and everything else. Because again, that doesn't help either. You know, and that doesn't give you the plan. And then before you know it, you're here next year, same time, going, I haven't achieved anything. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. It's also going to be very exciting to be back in person. I might be late, but I'm planning to be there.
We'll be there. What else do you want to talk about? So we've gone to 2026. We're making changes. What's the one thing that you are skeptical or worried about for 2026? Because we always talk about what we're positively looking forward to and stuff, and then it's like, you know, and the reason why I ask you this is because I'm currently doing the 5-day reset, which is, and it's all about showing you how to plan your life. So not planning your 2026, but showing you the things to consider when you're planning your life. And 2 of those are your risks and your issues. So your risks are what could happen, you know, so, and I always give the example of like Manchester, it always rains pretty much. So if you were going to do, say, a party in Manchester, rain would be top up there with as a risk, because you're like, well, you just never know Manchester. With London, you can get away with it, you know, and be surprised. But in Manchester, you know, it's always going to rain. And then your issues are things that already are happening in your life and stuff that could still affect your plan for next year. So based on that, any concerns?
So the one that's coming up for me a little bit at the moment is I'm doing so much shedding that we were talking about, and I'm going into 2026 fearless, and I want to play huge. But can the team around me step into that space of huge and fearlessness as well?
Okay, so that's a risk.
So actually, whilst I think some of them absolutely definitely can, I think some of them there's going to be a steeper learning curve. So it's figuring out, if we're going to play huge, if we're going to play ballsy, if we're going to be fearless about it, who can get there? Now, I know I can get everyone there, but actually, what is that risk in managing that and helping that through? And also, what's the risk of me and the others who can just zooming that and then not?
Yeah.
So that's the big risk that I'm trying to build into that bob and weave plan for next year as well, I think.
Interesting. What about you, Naomi?
Yeah, if I'm honest, I see my biggest risk as being my personal circumstances, my dad. If I look at this year, I sit here with quite a lot of pride at the end of the year of what I've achieved in my professional and personal life, whilst navigating what I can only describe as one of the hardest years of my life. However, whilst I see it as a risk, there are so many things that I have been putting in place this last few months. Some is in my business, the structure, the processes, the team, the support, even, you know, income streams to support when I'm out of my business, at a hospital bed or whatever it might be. I'm also not naive enough anymore to go, you know, my dad, of course, you know, with dementia and Alzheimer's keeps saying, well, it'll get better. I'll get better. And of course it won't get better. In fact, it's going to get
worse.
worse. So I've actually started to put some processes in place with, you know, within my support of him too, because it's just impossible to do it all on my own. So if I'm honest, that's what I see as the greatest risk, is actually how much I can give and how thin I will be spread. And there is one thing that I will no longer do. Some people will judge me for this, and I'm all good with being judged. I will no longer sacrifice my health or my business to look after my dad.
Yeah.
And I know some people will find that really hard to hear, and that's okay, because he has lived an incredible life. He's achieved the goals that he had, the family that he wanted, the marriage, the children, all those different things. I am not even halfway through this magnificent life of mine, and I am not putting any of it on hold. So,
and he would tell you not to as well.
Yeah, if he was in his old way of being, he probably would, but now he's not in that way, and actually now he demands and wants more and more and more of my time, and doesn't appreciate and respect my boundaries and my business and my own needs and wants and goals. So it's very hard as a daughter who was a people pleaser for so much of her life and had no boundaries, and now does have boundaries and has serious goals and a vision and a mission that I will not give up for anybody. There's my risk. But I think the thing is, you know, a bit like Helen just said, we're already putting into process the things that will not necessarily, you know, get rid of that risk, but certainly reduce it and have a plan in place.
Yeah, and that's very important. But here's my thing as well, right? It's like, if I'm not in the right frame of mind, if I'm not working and, you know, helping people transform their lives, if I'm not making the money, if I'm not right in myself, because it's all combined, right? It's all combined. Like your reason for being here, your purpose, your serving of people and everything else. If I can't do that, then I can't be a good daughter. Yeah. So, you know, and I do believe, I mean, I'm very much sort of like, I will give you the time that I can afford. And I'm very honest with my mum, because there's 6 of us, and but we all care for her in different ways. So some people may get on the phone and talk to her about politics. Other people will just have like a conversation, maybe about stuff that she maybe wants a bit more compassion from, where maybe I don't have that compassion, you know, because I'm running around doing stuff. So everybody, we all do. But I always remind her, I go, you've got 5 other children. Yeah. So, you know, make sure that you ask from all. You can't decide not to ask from one because you don't think that they're going to be able to provide. But also, I need to look after me. And I remind my mom, you had a husband. You had house help. I don't have any of that. And whilst I'm not sad about it, and I'm not, you know, I don't miss it because I didn't know about it or anything. I'm all I have to look after me. And you know, and it sounds really morbid, but I say to my mom, if anything happens to me tomorrow, if heaven forbid I collapse in here, nobody's going to know that I've collapsed until maybe I don't turn up for a meeting or something like that. Like, and it sounds awful, and yes, it's a risk and blah blah. But I'm not worried about it. But I'm also like, but I need to look after me. Yeah. So I have to come first, and that may come across as selfish, but I get it. So I hear where you're coming from, Naomi, and stuff. But I also believe that our parents, if in their kick-ass days, would never demand that from you, if that makes sense.
My grandfather was 100 when he died, and his mind was fine, but it was his body who gave up. Right. But he was vicious in terms of, your job is not to look after me. Your job is to live your life. When you've got a 98-year-old sitting there telling you that, you sort of go, okay, yeah, no, I'll just shut up and listen. But he was absolutely, you know, he did not want my mum. He did not want any of us to be, you know, if we wanted to, he loved seeing us and he loved spending the time with us. But he was just like, this is not your job.
Yeah, but also, so it's like it's very difficult as a blood relative to not care.
Yeah.
And here's the thing and stuff. I think when somebody says it's not your job, I get that, but I'll always care. I'm not going to see, I'm not going to see, your hygiene being compromised just because I've got a busy time. But the fact of the matter is and stuff, it's like, but I have to do it sometimes on my terms, and so that it fits around me, or capitalize on the resources that we do have, because so for example, my grandma, bless her, my grandma couldn't read or write, but she could play solitaire like with cards like a bitch. Like she was just on it. And but when she got older, she came and lived in our house. My mom may see her in the morning as she's rushing off to work, and she may see her at night when she's coming back, and sometimes she may not see her at night. But it didn't compromise my mom's life.
Yeah.
Because there were other people looking after her, but she was in my mom's space. And I'm very aware that that's what happened. I don't think it was bad. I think my mom did best with the resources she had. And to me, I'm just doing the same, which is I always call my mom every day. That's just me. I'll call her in the morning, I'll call her in the night, but also I am her healer. I understand what's going on. So I can take away headaches. I can, like at the moment she's got COVID, I'm treating her for that. Like I know my role, but also it may be that sometimes I may not call you at night because I'm on a meeting, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. And guess what? You've got 5 other children that could talk to you about different things. You know what I mean? So I don't think anybody worth their soul would let their parents suffer. But it's just like, I need my life back. And if I need to go for a meal or I need to go on holiday, I need to go. And I'm not rushing back to you. But also with that peace, and this is something that when I was a lot younger, I used to worry that, oh my God, but what if my parents pass away while I'm away and stuff? And now I go, but I've said everything I need to say to you. I love you. And if you go, I will be so sad, but it's okay, because I also know it's not the end. It's like, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. My dad passed away. I smiled the day my dad passed away. I survived. I'm okay. I'm all right. And it's so funny as I'm talking, I'm going, God, Naomi and I have so much in common in certain ways and stuff, because like, the parent dynamic and stuff, like, but yeah, it's okay. Well, that's brought you down to an end, didn't it? I love it.
It's the reality of life, though. It's the reality of, and it's also the reality, I hate to use that midlife word, but it is the reality of where we are at in our stage of life.
Yeah.
If we're not the sandwich, we're not the filling in the sandwich, we're certainly, being squeezed by some things. And, and some people, like we said this a couple of panels ago, didn't we, Victoria, when we talked about being independent and single and not. And so many people say, oh my God, it's so easy for you. You don't have children, you don't have a partner. Well, actually, you know what? That doesn't make it easier. Like, I have nobody when something happens to my dad. I have, and I look back, and my nana, my dad's mum, had dementia and Alzheimer's. But my dad had a brother who had a wife, my mum. We all lived in a village. So they were within, like, they didn't have email addresses. They didn't have social media. They didn't have their own businesses. They worked, my dad worked Monday to Friday. And I look and I think, I heard somebody say this week that they are actually saying that the generation that we are in now is harder than post-war.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right. That's a bit of a kicker, isn't it?
In what context?
In how much we are navigating.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And I think, we look back and we think about, like, our grandparents and my dad's generation. And don't get me wrong, I know they had hardships. But I also had a little bit of a moment, and I was thinking, yeah, but you know what? Like, it is to have a business. If I've joked a lot about this year, and I've said, if I was still in employment, I'd have been sacked. I would have been fired. There's no doubt about it. Because every time my dad's had a fall, a stroke, COVID, I have literally, none of my clients have suffered. Most of them just say to me, I don't know how you have kept, like, you never miss a call, you never miss a message from us, nothing. But I would have been fired from a job this year.
Yeah.
And that's me having my own mortgage, having my own, paying all the bills, everything. People say, oh, it's so easy for you, don't have children and don't have a partner. I don't, you know, we all have a lot to navigate.
Yeah.
I think it's that. Yeah, sorry, I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, you almost become, and this guy actually said it yesterday, he goes, you almost become a man, and not in a bad way, but you become masculine. It's like, it's do, like, how do you pay the rent? How do you pay this? How do you pay this? Like, even now, funny enough, even now I'm just scribbling. I mean, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm going, okay, so what's going in, what's coming out? And I'm ticking because it's like things still need to happen. And then how much you need to bring into the business, what else can go? It's just constant. Like, you wake up and you go, I know why I'm here. I know why I'm here. I know I'm here to help people. You know, I'm here to sort of like give people that freedom in their life, you know, after they've realized that money isn't it. I know that. And then you go, okay, so what bill's coming out? How, you know, is there enough in there? And if there isn't, then what needs to happen to make that happen? It's constant. It's constant. And it's not even a worry. It's just become part of you. So, which is why I think when people ask us questions like, how are you? You go, yeah, I'm good. I'm wonderful. Like, because you've almost, that it's just become part of you to the point where you don't see it as a worry.
Yeah.
And it's only when you have conversations like this, you go, damn, we are carrying a lot.
We're carrying a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
All of us.
And huge dreams and ambitions as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're allowed.
That's the sort of the plus point. Yeah, we're carrying a lot because we want to achieve a lot. We want to do a lot. We want to live a lot. We want to be a lot. And you know, sort of, and again, that's one of the choices we're making. And it's a great choice to be able to have. But yeah, it comes, you know, the flip side is that comes with.
Yeah. I think for 2026, we just need to be, when I say realistic, I know there's some people that talk about the delusional side of leadership and stuff, but I mean, like, really be realistic. So, for example, you know, don't wish or hope as a strategy, you know, like, really look at your life and go, what is it? And just choose maybe just one thing to go for next year rather than trying to go for 20 things that are just going to fall flat on the ground. You know, it's like, what is it that you want to achieve, and really understand it. And this is what I'm trying to bring out in this work, is like, use your intuition to understand you, you know, rather than, because a lot of people think that intuition is about getting to know other people. Yes, but understand you. Like, be really honest and say, if you're setting yourself a goal to make an extra 50K next year or 100K next year, you know, deep down inside, is that when you look around you, does everything around the time, the cost, the quality, you know, and when I say time, cost, and quality, I'm also looking at the resources as well. Do they lift you to achieve that? Because if not, you're just going to go into 2026 fighting, and you know, and it's not going to serve you. So and I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying put things in place so that you can actually manage those risks and issues. So the issues are the things that have happened, but they're still going on. So for like Naomi and myself, elderly parents, that's an issue. It's happening. We're managing it. But how are you managing it? And have you got things in place so that if anything happens, that you can still be going ahead for that goal? And if not, then what's the delay in that goal? What's the impact? Is there a cost impact? Is there a time impact? What is that? Yeah, I think we just need to be really honest about 2026, because what I see every year is people going, oh my God, this is the year. I can't wait. Because you realize that you've got 12 months to mess up or attack, and so whatever you want to call it. and it's actually, it is a clean slate, but it's still you, and you're still taking in. Just because it's a new year doesn't mean that things have been erased.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what are you doing to manage what stopped you before moving forward?
Yeah.
And I think if we can be that honest with ourselves, then we can create some incredible results next year.
Here.
There you go. It's been wonderful.
It always is.
It always is.
Next week, it may not be at this time.
Fine.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but we are going to do an end of year special. Even if I have to come on here and do it myself at midnight.
Oh, I'll be with you at midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight is cool.
We're going to do something. Yeah, so but we're going to do like an end of year, because as I've said before, I can't believe we've done 12 months of the panel, and I think we've missed out 2 dates or 3 dates, which is phenomenal. Like there's always been somebody on here running it, and so which is just mindless. It's just it's one of those goals that I didn't know was a goal till I started, and I was like, I really want to do this. So I want to thank you, and for all the ladies that I know that we've got EJ who hasn't been well, so we think of her. We've got Liz, who I know is busy doing other stuff. Rochelle is in Birmingham, not paying attention as much as she should because she's been messaging me. And yeah, there's been and all the guests that we've had as well. We've had some phenomenal guests that have come and helped us. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what we do in the new year, and we're looking at different options on how we can come back to you. If there's any topics that you want us to talk about, let us know. Send us messages, comment on our videos, and we'll see you soon. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.